Hey y'all, let me chat with y'all for a minute. I know, I disappeared for about a month without a word, but sometimes life has a way of getting the best of you. And when I tell you, laugh to keep from crying felt less like the name of this podcast and more like my reality, that's exactly where I've been. But I'm back. First, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to my day ones, and thank you to everyone who reached out checking on me and asked me when I'll be back. Knowing that y'all still care enough to listen and continue this journey with me, it really means more than you know. Life has been lifing, but one thing about me, I'm always going to find my way back. So, welcome back to Laugh to Keep from Crying. You're listening to CJNA After Dark. And as always, I'm doing this to heal, never to hurt. Now, last episode, I talked about reconnecting with somebody from my past, and how something that started off as innocent slowly turned into a dangerous game. Not physical, but emotional. And sometimes emotional lines are the ones you don't realize you crossed until you're already too far in. I was trying to protect the lie, protect my image, protect the life I already had, and honestly, protect myself from admitting what was really going on. But now, things are starting to get real. So let's talk about it. If I'm being honest, I had already crossed the line. We were connecting on a real emotional level. And I know some people only consider physical cheating to be cheating, but I don't. When you're giving somebody else your time, your attention, your energy, your thoughts, your excitement, and hiding it from the person you're with, that's cheating too. At least it was for me. At first, everything felt harmless. We talk on the phone, we text, meet up for lunch, maybe even an occasional movie. Nothing crazy. But what started happening was I found myself looking forward to those moments more and more. And the more I invested in him, the more distant I became from my boyfriend. Now, my boyfriend, he wasn't stupid. He noticed. Maybe I wasn't answering the phone the same way. Maybe I wasn't spending as much time with him. Maybe I was disappearing for hours and showing back up with excuses. Or maybe I wasn't as present as I used to be. Whatever it was, he felt the shift. And eventually, he asked me about it. Straight up. Are you talking to anybody else? And I wish I could tell y'all that I came clean. I didn't. I lied. Without hesitation, without thinking twice. I lied. And looking back, that's probably one of the hardest things for me to admit. Not because I lied once, but because lying started becoming normal. Every question had an answer. Every concern had an excuse. Every red flag had a story attached to it. The truth was becoming harder to tell because I was working so hard to maintain the lie. As time went on, I became paranoid. Now we're moving into the era where cell phones are getting better, texting is becoming more common, and communication is changing. So what do I start doing? Deleting text messages, deleting call logs, checking my phone constantly, making sure conversations disappeared, making sure there wasn't any evidence sitting around waiting to be discovered. And man, I was on my boyfriend's phone plan. So eventually, he started paying attention. He started asking questions. Who is this number? Why y'all talking so much? Why this number keeps showing up? And instead of taking accountability, I got defensive, talking about why you all in my business? As if I wasn't the one creating the problem. So then, I decided I was going to get smart, or at least I thought I was. My little sister had a cell phone. She was several years younger than me. But somehow, I convinced myself that using her phone would solve my problems. So now, I'm using her phone to make calls, deleting my own records, trying to stay one step ahead. But my boyfriend wasn't stupid. He noticed the calls stopped showing up. Next thing I know, he's reaching out to my sister, asking her if I'm using her phone. Now she's confused. Now she's asking me questions. Now she's involved in something she never should have been involved in. And that's when things start getting messy. Because it wasn't just my boyfriend noticing something was wrong anymore. My family started asking questions too. My mom has always been the type that wanted to know where I was. Not because she was controlling. She just wanted to know I was okay, even as an adult. And most of the time, I found myself lying to her too. Telling her I was with my boyfriend. Telling her I was one place when I was somewhere else. Telling her wherever I thought she needed to hear. And honestly, that's one of the parts I regret the most. Because at this point, I wasn't just lying to one person. I was lying to everybody. And on the other side of things, his family was paying attention too. Now, I don't know exactly how he was presenting me to his family. I honestly don't. But I remember getting a feeling that they weren't exactly sure what to make of me. There were a lot of pickups, a lot of drop-offs, a lot of me randomly showing up. And they were old school. So looking back now, I'm sure conversations were happening that I knew nothing about. And the crazy thing is, I don't even think I was chasing a person. I think I was chasing a feeling. The feeling of being wanted, chosen, the feeling of something new. Because new always feels exciting. New doesn't have bills. New doesn't have responsibilities. New doesn't have history. And new only shows you the best parts. And I got so caught up in how it felt that I stopped paying attention to what it was costing me. Looking back now, I can see clearly. But back then, I thought I had everything under control. I thought I could keep everybody separated. I thought I can keep all the pieces moving without anything falling apart. But every lie requires another lie. And every secret eventually gets heavier. And I just didn't know it yet. And honestly, I still don't know what I was really looking for. I've asked myself that question so many times. What was so special? What did I think I was missing? What was I searching for? Because when I finally sit back and think about it, my boyfriend was a good dude. He wasn't perfect. Nobody is. But he was good to me. So what exactly was I chasing? Maybe it was that new feeling. Maybe it was because we started talking after all those years and I built something up in my head that really wasn't there. Maybe I was chasing butterflies. Maybe I was chasing attention. Or maybe I was chasing a fantasy version of life that only existed in my imagination. Because me and my boyfriend didn't have some dramatic love story. We started as friends, we got close, and eventually we ended up together. Maybe it's because it happened naturally. I convinced myself I was missing out on something. I don't know. Honestly, I still don't fully know. But whatever I thought I was looking for, it wasn't worth the person I was becoming to find it. Because at this point, I wasn't just telling lies anymore. I was protecting one. And protecting a lie is exhausting. Because eventually you stop worrying about the truth coming out and start worrying about keeping all the lies straight. And trust me, things were only getting started. Thank y'all for listening to Laugh to Keep From Crying. Before I let y'all go, I just want to say thank you. Thank you again. Thank you for rocking with me and being patient while I was away. And because I kept y'all waiting, I got a little surprise for y'all. The last 2 episodes of Season 3 will be dropping weekly, so get ready to hear how Season 3 wraps up. And I promise you, Season 4, we're coming back stronger, more consistent, and with even more stories to tell. Until next time, keep laughing through the hard days. I'll catch you in the next episode.